How to stop translating every single word from English language to our mother tongue or to any other language to know the meaning of the character what actually said in English, right? So if you are also translating every single word of the English to your mother tongue, are you in a right direction to achieve the fluency in English, or can really translating help us to achieve fluency in English, right? So if you also have the same question about translation, so this video is only for you. So in this video I'm gonna share about, should we follow translating process to achieve fluency in English? Can it help us to see the progress in our English, or should we discontinue the process of translating every single word, right? So just try to watch this video till the end. You'll get the complete information and the best technique to follow in English to achieve fluency, right? See, if you ask the same question, can really translating in English really help us to achieve fluency in English? Definitely I would say it is not. Why? Because there should be no mucky to mucky translation from English to any other language, right? So every language will be very unique and different in their own basis, right? So every word, meanings and the structure of the sentences will be very different comparatively with any other language, right? So if you always try to translate every single word to the to know the meaning of that, or you're translating English to your own mother tongue, it doesn't make sense at all. Of course, you might be able to know the meaning of that particular thing at that point of time. It might be able to work, but in a longer period of time, if you want to achieve the fluency in English only with the translation, it is impossible, I would say, right? So, but why we always try to translate every single word from our English to our mother tongue, right? Is it a really a easy process, or is it really right process to do, right? See, translation in English should not exist, right? Because your mind will obviously confuse to know the every meaning, the meaning of every single word in English, right? How does it make sense? Your mind will always be busy to know the meaning of that particular word in English, right? So when will you think and when will you try to speak from your heart in English, right? It is almost impossible to speak very fluently in English with the translation. So just try to stop translating in English. So if you want to know the meaning of English, just to follow the character, what the character is saying, and just try to know the meaning of that word in English itself, right? So then what will happen is your mind will start try to think only in English. Your mother tongue will be in the side part, and your mind should not think about in your mother tongue, right? So you always have to think in English only, and you always try to find the meaning only in English, right? So if you don't know the meaning of that particular word, just try to Google it or try to open the dictionary or try to know the meaning of that. Try to think, try to remember the meaning of the word only in English. Then whenever you find the same word in any other place, your mind will remember the meaning. Okay, this is the meaning of exact of this, right? So this is how you will be able to achieve fluency in English, right? Otherwise, only with the translation, it is almost impossible, right? But majority of the English learners, they're only depending on translation, right? See, what happens is, whenever you try to translate, your mind will always try to think in the back of mind. Okay, what's the meaning of this word? What should I speak in English, and what we call it as in our mother tongue, right? So it always confuse and play two roles in your mind, right? So your mother tongue should not come in English, okay? So it should completely be aside, only you have to think in English itself, right? So that's when you feel very comfortable. Initially it might be different, it might be hard for you to get used to it. But if you continue the process, if you continue to do the same thing for almost 1 month or 2 months, if you invest a longer period of time, definitely this translation process you will feel. This translation process doesn't even exist in this journey. So we have to completely depend on English language itself. So whatever we should do, whatever we do, we have to do this thing in English only, right? So we have to think in English, we have to have the conversation, we have to have the imagination about the things what we are going to do, what we have done in yesterday or day before yesterday, what we are going to do in the next working day. These all imaginations and these all conversations should be in English only, right? So without using your mother tongue, without using the translation process, right? So then only it will be very useful to you and you will feel very comfortable without having the confusion between two languages, right? So I hope you got my point. And so without using the translation, still we can survive. We can survive with the English language. Obviously, almost 50% we use English in our regular daily conversations. We all already know about it. But to get one more 50% fluency in English, we should invest some more time on this particular language, right? As I said, every language will have a unique sentence structure and a way of speaking, right? So how the words are being used in a language will be very different comparing with any other languages, right? So if you keep compare, you will obviously get confused in those both languages and will not at all become perfect at that particular thing, right? So if you want to become better at English and achieve fluency in English, just try to think and do all the things in English only, right? So if you know the meaning of that particular word in English, why do you need to translate that in English, right? So even it could be a sentence or even it could be a single word or a phrase or an idiom, it doesn't make sense. It should not relate with any other language, right? English have a lot of meanings. In English we have a lot of meanings, we have a lot of alternative words to use in a conversation. If you are feeling like using that word in a conversation feeling hard and critical, just try to replace that particular word with any other alternative word. So that is also very easy process to get fluency in English, right? So it is there is no rule to use. You have to use the same and exact word in English and at this place only, and you should not replace this word with any other one. There is no rule. You can use any word at any place. If you don't know to remember that particular word at that particular time, it is okay to use any other alternative word as well, right? So I hope you got my point. So just don't completely depend on translation process. Of course, in the beginning stages, when you are at the beginning stage, it is normal. Many of the English learners try to translate English from their own mother tongue, but throughout the process you have to discontinue the process, right? You have to try to develop to understanding only in English, right? Whatever you do, English should be like your primary language, right? So your mother tongue should be as a secondary language. You have to feel, you have to look at this English language like a pure primary language, right? So you should feel like an English guy, should feel like an English speaker, right? So then only we can master and achieve fluency in English, right? So this is all in your should be in your mind. Once if you feel in your mind like you are an English speaker and you have been trying to speak English for the last so many days, right? So then only you will be able to achieve fluency in English, right? So I hope you got all my points, and I hope you will implement and try to remove all of these wrong thoughts from your mind, and definitely you will see the better progress in your English journey. And this is all about this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, Keep learning, keep practicing, and never stop speaking. Okay.